I am getting word that our runner, MoxieclawsSR, is ready. Moxie, the floor is yours.
Alright. Hi everyone. My name is MoxieclawsSR, and I am joined here by our lovely host Quill and my co-commentator, who is a very last-minute addition, Shasta.
Hello. I'm back again.
You might remember him from the run that just finished.
That was me. Whoa.
And he's here to join and help me out on commentating this run. So this is Kirby Squeak Squad 100%, and the timing starts when I press story, so just go ahead and count it down now.
Want me to do it?
Sure.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Let's go!
So Kirby Squeak Squad is kind of a weird game if you're familiar with other Kirby runs. It came out at a little bit of a weird time in the series. It was the first Kirby game that wasn't directed by Sakurai, and because of that, and maybe for other reasons, it's got a lot of interesting quirks that aren't in any other Kirby games. One that isn't in another Kirby game is that the fastest copyless movement is sliding on the ground, and that's something that actually came back in the modern Kirby engine, but wasn't seen before this, and took a break until Return to Dreamland.
Well enough, this game also has a few different movement techniques too. For instance, if you slide off a ledge, the closer you are to that ledge... Oh wait, no. So if you slide off a ledge, then press up, you will float and go very far across the screen. You'll see that possibly a few times throughout this run. Most are probably using this early levels too, before you even get powers, but like, it's a really cool thing. We call that a ledge dash. The closer you are to the ledge as well too, and like the sooner you press up after you got the ledge, the more speed you get. And it's very cool.
Yeah,
now though, fire is very good. If you just press right or left twice and press B, you just get this fireball attack. It goes very far, very fast.
Yep, this is, I believe, the first Kirby game where they combined this moving ability into the actual fire ability. It used to be split between two abilities, fire and burning. Or I guess Superstar had it before, but...
Oh yeah, Superstar did have that.
That's true. I lied about it, but most games have them, up until this point, had them separate.
And now for 100%, we have to get all 120 chests in the entire game. And this is the first one we get here, right? If I recall.
Just that first tutorial one that we grabbed. Oops.
Yeah. Now the chests have different stuff inside them. Sometimes just cosmetic stuff, like changing like the tiles on the bottom of the screen, or like changing Kirby's color entirely. But like sometimes they'll have different things, like it give you another attack for like a certain power they get. Like for instance, I know for the fire scroll allows you to aim upwards or downwards. That's a thing.
Yep, and the main mechanic of this game, basically, that differentiates it from other Kirby games is the stomach that Kirby has. So the bottom screen of the DS is used to store bubbles in Kirby's stomach, and the bubble can have a bunch of different things in it. It can have a copy ability in it, it can have food in it, it can have an invincibility candy in it, and we have 5 inventory slots, and in the any % run, it's pretty easy to manage that inventory because we have 5 slots to work with. Also, real quick, what I'm doing right here, I'm spitting out this chest before I grab the other one, and for some reason this shortens that cutscene by a lot. Like, there's normally a big cutscene where all the squeaks come out, and we see them for the first time, but for some reason the camera comes back to Kirby after the first one spawns, if we spit the first chest out and then grab this one. I don't know why that happens. But anyway, as for Kirby's stomach, it's a lot more difficult to manage in this run because Kirby has to use 3 stomach spots in most stages to hold chests, and since this is 100% and we need all of the chests, we have a lot less space to work with. And also now we're seeing, for the first time, Wheel, which we're going to be seeing a lot of in this run.
Yeah, Wheel is extremely good in this game, to say the least. The biggest thing about it in general is that If you press A, then B, then hold down A, you get like a lot of high off of it. Even more so too if you turn around while doing that. It's just, I'm not sure why it happens, but it's extremely good to say the least. I think we call this game sometimes Kirby Wheel Squad because of it, right? Something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun nicknames.
Really interesting thing to note about Wheel is that there is a high jump ability in this game, and I'm pretty sure that jumping with Wheel actually provides more height than high jump does.
Yeah, that might be true. I'm not sure. It's
I think
definitely
it's actually
faster
true.
than it.
Because high jump goes like pretty diagonal in this game usually. At least in the rooms they use it in, so like, yeah. It's wild.
And so this is the first extra stage. I unlocked a key to it in one of those chests in the last stage. So we don't do these stages in any percent.
I love that in the last room there, the DD painting. It looks so good. There's a lot of cool details in the backgrounds of this game, of a lot of these Kirby games, but especially this one too. Like all the statues there as well. Like there's a lot of good stuff. Speaking of high jump,
Yep.
supposed to use high jump in this room, but nope.
Yeah, we have Wheel, which is better than high jump.
High jump too.
High jump 2. High jump is so great. Why isn't there a high jump 2?
There is now.
There is now. If only high jump was Wheel 2.
A lot of time too, when you collect those big chests, like these members of the Squeak Squad here, if you will pop out and just like try and take it away from you, and take it back to their own little like area. But we can just, if we move fast, then we just get to the end of the room usually before they can do that.
Yep, most of the time we can just entirely ignore them as long as we grab the chest and get out of there. There are a couple of instances where the game does make you fight them and defeat them before you can move on.
Oh wait, shortest level in the game right here.
Yep, that was a whole level. Hope you didn't.
It's just
blink
one
for that
room. The whole thing is just like this is trying to find that chest in there because it's at the very top, you know. Tries to trip you up, but nah, we're too good for that.
And here we are on the first actual boss fight. It was DDD. Now, the plot. I love the plot of this game because Kirby gets his cake stolen and he doesn't know who took it, and his first thought is to go beat up DDD and see if he took it.
No, he did not actually take it.
Yeah, and then as we find out in this cutscene I'm about to skip, he actually didn't take it. It had nothing to do with it, so we just went and beat up King DDD for no reason. Poor guy did nothing wrong.
Mention how good,
like, food in Dreamland one time. Just one time, guys.
Just once. We did mention, by the way, that Wheel is like very good for movement. The one thing it can't really do too well is actually destroy bosses. But that being said, though, we destroy last boss with Wheel because it's just very good for the next few rooms or so, especially. But a lot of time, if we're trying to defeat a boss, we want to try and avoid using Wheel if we can. But sometimes it just comes down to just using Wheel to destroy it.
Yeah, often the time lost from using Wheel in a fight is negated by all the time that it saves in movement. There's also one little thing about these Squeak segments where they're chasing you. If one of them hits you like that, you'll drop one of the chests you're carrying since they're trying to steal them from you, which is not something that normally happens with most of the enemies in the game.
If I recall correctly, funnily enough, the Squeaks will make you drop the chest, but like regular enemies make you drop your power instead. It's like it's a little trade-off sort of thing going on there.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
We have a $100 donation from FrazBright161 with no comment. Thank you very much for the generous donation.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, thanks so much.
Keep them coming, y'all. Get those goals, get those incentives.
So I'm noticing every now and again that Kirby is bonking against the ceiling and the wall. With Nightmare in Dreamland, which is the game that I'm the most familiar with, it doesn't like eat your input really easily, but does it eat your input in this game?
Yeah, inputs getting eaten in this game is very strange. The game just feels very strange to play if you're used to other Kirby games, especially. There's a lot of different instances that'll eat your input. One of the most annoying specific ones to this game is if you're standing up against a wall.
Oh, those walls eating your inputs like candy.
Yep, and I'm gonna try to.
Speaking of candy, by the way,
bubbles here. I didn't get what I was looking for there. I was trying to get a wheel early. I accidentally got a mini Kirby bubble, which is the worst thing you can get.
Yeah, those things give you a 1-up if you combine 3 of them together, but it's very useless usually. You kinda just don't want them ever. But in general, what we're trying to go for is so finally, if you're familiar with Kirby speedruns, you know that if you mix 2 enemies together, you get rule of any single like power in the game. In the case of this game, there's these question mark bubbles, and funnily enough, if you do it correctly, there are certain things you can get from them that you can't get from mixes. For instance, the one-up Kirby thing you saw a second ago, but most importantly, the invisibility candy. If you do it well enough. That being said, though, the very start of the question mark bubble is completely random where it starts. However, the order is always the same. And right there is a fun little technique you can do in this game too. This game is very melee-esque in the fact that there is crouch canceling.
Yep,
Funnily enough, if you crouch while you hit by any enemy in the game or any boss in this case, you just kind of negate all damage, all knockback, and don't lose your power.
You do take damage still, but
oh, damage, yeah, of course.
Alright. Actually, I think I need to take care of you. Get out of the way. Alright, so this is where I'm going to do the first bubble dupe glitch in the run. There we go, got it. So you can see my bottom screen turn completely white there. It fixes itself when you go out of the room. But that is a really big glitch that has totally revolutionized the routing of especially 100%. Not so much any percent since we don't have to worry about inventory management as much. But basically what that did is I used that wheel bubble that's in my inventory and it stayed there. That happened because I collected it I popped the bubble at the exact same time that Kirby recollected another bubble. And so the setup that I used for it basically just involves me putting one of the bubbles, not the one that I want to use, not the one that I actually want to duplicate, but another bubble that I have up onto a small ledge, or it works on a slope also, and you'll see that later in the run. And then crouching under it, and then tapping the bubble so that Kirby, whenever you use a bubble and get an ability, the animation makes Kirby stand up. So he stands up into the bubble, and that increases the frame window for it by quite a bit. I'm not sure what it increases to, but it's normally like if you don't have a cue for it, I think it's a frame perfect or maybe a 2-frame trick otherwise.
It is frame perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering you're cooking that one room actually, so that's actually really cool. I know you bubble dupe there right now.
Yeah, that's a backup for if I don't get a lucky wheel earlier. If I had 2 there already, then I wouldn't have had to do it. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Yeah. That's time for this lad right here. So a new power to this game is metal, which kind of works like stone in past Kirby games. As such, there's no stone in this game just because of that. But the caveat of metal though is that we do have to get it for this section right here, but you move very slowly with it. So as a result, we're gonna take metal, get rid of it. Select the star again, shred the metal blocks, and then get rid of it again, and use our wheel bubble we got earlier.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna mix wheel right here.
Ooh.
Save the bubbles.
Yep, save the bubbles.
Nice. That's the third power, right?
I believe I was second for beam.
Gotcha.
Very short mix, though. I have one too many bubbles here. Okay, Spinny, get back here.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna probably have to go fight Spinny. Oh, never mind. Got him in time.
maybe. Nice.
Alright. So if the Squeaks do take one of the chests and make it into their hideout, then you have to enter their hideout and do a little arena fight against them. That loses quite a bit of time if that happens. So fortunately I was able to avoid that there. Hopefully that won't happen in this run, but we'll see.
There are a few
There's
spots where
also-
it could be a little tricky.
Yeah, there's also kind of a hidden, like, knockback mechanic whenever you hit specifically a squeak, where the basically any chest that you're carrying gets tossed out of your inventory and you have to grab it again.
Well, that's fine. I was supposed to grab that sword and do this fight with sword, but that's okay. It'll be slower now, but it'll be fine.
If I recall, you do get a hammer after this fight, right?
Yeah. The important thing is grabbing hammer,
Yeah.
so no big deal.
It's all good. Hammer has a little dash attack in this game too. I think it's the first instance of Hammer having that, if I recall. I want to say it is. We saw obviously a lot in the last run I just did a little bit ago, but I think it's the first game where it appears.
I can't remember if that was in Superstar or not also.
I don't think it was.
I believe it is in Superstar.
Oh, is it? Hmm.
And then in KSSU, they added a hammer throw.
That's
You
what
can't
that's
throw
what I
the
was thinking
hammer
of.
in this one. Alright, this room is a little bit scary because for some reason if you slide, or I think even if you jump sometimes, oops, Storo goes a little bit faster, and looks like I'm gonna have to go in there and fight him. Unfortunate, got hit by that squeak.
That's a very tight one, honestly. If make any
it's very tight
mistakes
when
there,
you
that'll
get
just
through.
happen.
So normally you have just enough time to go there and hit him before he gets in so that he drops his chest, but I got hit there, so I wasn't quite able to do it. Also, for some reason, if you slide at any point in that room, he goes faster and you won't be able to catch him if you slide. I think after 2 slides it becomes impossible to catch him. And also, what I did right there is I had my inventory full, so I took one of the chests out of my stomach and just put it into Kirby's mouth. And entering through the gold door with a chest in your mouth counts as having it in your stomach, so we still collected the chest, even though I didn't have it in my stomach. Funny little quirk there that you don't get to see too often, other than that level. Oh, well, that's bad luck. Normally this boss goes down really quickly, but if it decides to jump into the background and waste a bunch of time. So, I tried for another bubble dupe there, but the setup for that, there isn't a setup for that since the chest just falls from the sky, so you just have to use a visual cue to try to time it. It's a lot more difficult than the other ones I'll be going for. There is a backup I can do for missing that one though, so we will be seeing that.
Forgot you can like change powers in like that little like in between animation between worlds.
Yeah, that's another cool little thing.
Pretty cool. It's been a while since I played this.
Mm-hmm.
That seems very good. Shout out to Squundo.
Shout out to Squundo.
That's to Squundo indeed.
We call Sweet 100% Squundo for short sometimes.
Yep.
It's great.
And there's an unavoidable mini Kirby bubble. Just have to get rid of it as soon as possible, because really all they do is take up inventory slots. Alright, so... Oops. There we go. I need to leave the bottom row of these blocks intentionally so that I can set up the bubble dupe as a backup. Yeah, a little too close there. Try again. In a very specific spot. There we go. And you can tell you got it because the bottom screen goes entirely white until you enter the next room. Interestingly, the touchscreen actually still works, so if you remember what bubbles you have under there, you could theoretically keep using them while the screen's white. You just can't see what you're doing anymore.
And the reason for that, I think, if I recall, is because the beginning of the animation for whenever you touch a power there is just completely white when it starts. That's why it turns like completely white as well.
Yeah, and for some reason it just doesn't continue that animation, and it just stops it there. Oops. and jumping at the wrong times. Alright, coming up in next room is going to be a mini boss fight against Boxy. One of the more annoying ones, but I'm going to go ahead and start the fight by crouch canceling, because you get a lot of invincibility frames for doing that. But basically you get a lot of invincibility frames for doing anything in this game, and by starting the fight crouch canceling, that ensures that Boxy can't hit you right away, so you can get some free damage in, and if she gives you a good pattern, then you can hopefully avoid getting hit at all in the fight, but that's a pretty difficult one to not get hit in. A neat little strategy in that room, just to do 2 jumps, one right at the beginning and then one off the middle platform, and the chest goes straight to you. With other strats, sometimes people have to turn around or go into the water to go retrieve it, so it's a neat one.
To know as well too for Boxy fights, ideally, because we have a few more later on in the run too, but like ideally you want to just be like, you want Boxy to hopefully just be in the middle of the area there instead of on the complete right side of it. Otherwise, you have to keep bouncing off the side of the wall every single time. Don't want that.
Oh, shoot. That's bad. Slow, I mean. It's
It happens.
very
It's all
annoying
good.
shaft to fall down. There we go.
I
went
noticed
a
that the
little
last
too-
big chest was flashing. Does that mean anything special?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
it does, actually.
Do you want to explain it?
Sure, yeah. I believe flashing ones contain the star seals, which are required to unlock World 7 and beat the game. So those are actually the only chests that you get in the any percent run. And the reason that we don't want any extra chests is because the victory fanfare at the end of each level takes longer if you've gotten any chests.
Obviously, 100%. We can't avoid getting like chests at all. We have to get all of them.
Right.
So
Yep.
you're gonna see us dance every single time, and it's great.
It's
If anyone
fantastic.
if anyone has any dancing emotes in the chat, if you want to like post them at each level, that'd be kind of cool.
Just gonna be grooving.
Oh yeah,
Vibing, it's all good.
absolutely. Alright, so here we've got to drop the wheel so we can go grab this chest.
Bam.
There's that Kirby in the cannon from the keychain.
Oh yeah, that's right. True.
Ooh, got that one. First try, nice.
Nice.
Yep, so this is the beginning of sort of the bubble dupe route in 100%, where we keep this one wheel bubble for quite a while and we try to duplicate it multiple times. So that was the first one, that was successful.
Yeah, funny thing with these clouds, you saw earlier in the chest, but I'll point it out to you, but fire actually just goes right through them.
If you burn right through clouds.
It's a thing as well too in the layer level that I think we have to use for the chest, but yeah, it's just a funny little thing, funny little quirk of the game.
That chest that I just grabbed is actually kind of tight timing to get, and you can use the wheel ability just to break the bomb block and get it, but sometimes you'll bonk off the wall, and if that happens, then the chest will fall in the pit and you won't be able to get it, and you'll have to redo the level. So I do that setup there instead, where you just touch up against the edge of the bomb block and then slide twice. Oops, I'm not having enough inventory space to grab these chests. It's very difficult to manage that, especially when you are forced to pick up extra little like health things. But fortunately, you can just tap those to pop them and eat them, no matter what your health is. The stage is a little bit tricky, and there's going to be another bubble dupe coming up quickly.
A lot of tricky maze-like navigation as well too. A lot of tight corridors through a section.
And the only reason we have to double dip is because we need a sword to break this bomb block and that bomb block only. And so now... There we go, got it.
Nice.
And we've kept our one wheel bubble. We've already used it twice and it's still there.
Ooh, Gordos.
Yeah. Fortunately, if you go on the right side of that ladder there, you'll just miss all of them. And then this part's a little, like, chase sequence where Spinny breaks down the wall in front of you and then starts chasing you through this, like, spike maze thing.
How'd they even do that? You just got ninja stars. What the heck? Too powerful.
Absolutely crazy.
Is Spinny canonically the most powerful character in this game now?
Maybe.
Probably. I don't see Dark Nebula there breaking down walls, that's all I'm saying. Wow, boss, by the way.
May I read a quick donation here?
That's probably a good time, yeah. There's boss fight coming very soon.
Ah, yes, with the Krakow.
Yeah.
We have a $5 donation from Rubicante that says, "So Ian Keith said I should have made you read out my joke in chat about the Squeak Squad Squids Squalid Squishy Squelch. I apologize, I was so square I didn't squeeze that over to you to make you squirm reading it out. My squeamishness about my squirrely squiggle of a pun squashed my squire-like rational thinking like a squib. Now you can squawk it out for everyone to hear, unless, of course, this whole commitment makes you want to squeegee your brain to forget it, in which case, squarry. Donation to the Squid Choice in the Splatoon 3 bid war, because, well, squobviously."
I loved and hated that simultaneously.
That was very difficult to read.
I didn't know
proud
there
of you.
were so many words starting with SQ.
Neither did I. Now I know.
Thank you
So
for
that-
enlightening me.
Sapphire is really cool, by the way. So Krakow has a very lean hitbox where they way to take damage like very, very quickly. So because of that, invincibility candy actually does like just kind of melts their health as long as they're inside of them. However, Krakow moves a lot there, especially. So yeah, it's a very tricky fight because of that.
Unfortunately, I got hit, so I wasn't able to get the full candy kill. Got him down to 1 health. But normally you are just able to entirely kill him before the invincibility candy runs out. This boxer fight's pretty annoying. He runs up to you very quickly and grabs you if he gets to you.
Of note, by the way, this giant color blade you're seeing right here is a product of having the color scroll currently.
Yep.
Which, if I
Yeah,
recall,
normally
you
the
get
cover is
in
much smaller.
2.4, I want to say. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Same with the
I
glow
think-
right here for high jump. That's also a product of the scroll.
Is that the only boxer you fight in this game? Or is there another one in the Hundo category?
Forget.
Might be the only one. I also forget. Here I've got another Bubble Duke. This one's especially difficult. Let's see if I can get it.
Ah,
There
your
we go,
laser
got
ball. Nice.
And this part is also very scary. Gonna take that slow. Good, got it. All right.
Ooh.
Very, very easy to get hit by those spikes there, and if you do, you have no chance of recovering your ability because it just pops immediately.
A little hidden chest there inside a grass, and then we just leave. See ya.
Goodbye. Yep, just all in one jump. Grab the hidden chest and get out of there.
We're good.
We just didn't even know
Easy.
what hit him.
If I recall, that sword bubble is used for the boss, right?
I'm gonna be using Tornado for the boss, but a lot of people do like to keep that one
Okay.
for the boss of this world. I find Tornado to be a little bit easier, plus we do want to be using Tornado for the level right after it in this category.
Gotcha. I'm trying to like recall my routing from a very long time ago.
I think
going
it
through
technically
this.
is slightly faster to keep this sword and use it on the boss, but I'm more comfortable with Tornado for the fight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Understandable.
And this is another glowing star seal chest that we pick up in 90% as well. Because once again, we cannot beat the game if we don't get all of them. If you get to World 7 and you don't have them, then you gotta go back and find them.
I've never actually seen the animation of not having that chest there before. Right, all the Star Seal chests.
I feel like I've
No,
seen
they're
it
cool.
before, but it's been a long time, so I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Here, quick little time saver. You're supposed to go hide in that hole down there from the boulder, but because of crouch canceling, we can just stand there and tank the hit from the boulder so we can get past that gate sooner.
Wrenching path right there. Going on top half is a little faster because you can just kind of stay in wheel the whole time during this part. And there's also a chest, of course, too. And right down over here too, the left can is important to take because that's where the chest is as well.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and wait to mix these two bubbles until after we go past that mini bubble, because if you run into a bubble while your stomach is full, you won't pick it up. So I ought to make sure my stomach was full there, otherwise I would have had to get rid of another mini bubble.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a raid in the chat, by the way. Quill, you want to do some, want to pitch the stream real quickly?
Yeah, for sure. So, welcome to the Fastest Furs Twitch channel. Fastest Furs 2022 is sponsoring, or rather, we are benefiting, Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline's hotline is a peer support service run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. Their operators are located all over the United States and Canada and are all trans-identified. If you are in a crisis or just need someone to talk to, please visit translifeline.org/hotline to learn how you can connect. We also have a lot of prizes that you can donate to. A donation of $20 will submit you to every single drawing that we have.
Yes, please donate. It's for a very good cause. It's run by some pretty nice
Absolutely.
people.
Marathon's been very good the whole time, honestly. So, support is much appreciated for it.
Yep. It's one of my favorite songs in the game, by the way. It's the legendary Air Ride Machine theme from Kirby's Air Ride, if you are familiar with that game.
Yeah,
Such
if
a
you
banger.
make the Dragoon or the Hydra in that game, you get this song playing. It plays here too. It's so good.
I did not know that that's where this is from.
Yep. Have you played it right before?
Sadly, no, so that would explain it.
You should.
You gotta go to events sometime. I'll play it with you.
Heck yeah!
Let's go. Great video game.
Bubble Crab.
I love how like Willjum is just really good for this boss. Even like normally, because like you just go so high in the air there. Just sniping completely out of like this flowing phase. So good.
Here we need to switch to fire to grab his chest. And I'm not going to switch back to wheel just yet because there's another thing coming up that I'm going to have to break open with fire.
Thankfully, conveniently enough, there's a wheel bubble right there.
Yep. Very convenient. And grabbing that chest turns this fight into a Storo fight. Normally, if you went into this room without grabbing the chest, this would be a Mr. Frosty fight. And Mr. Frosty is a much more annoying boss than Storo is.
The only thing is, Chris Frosty's a little bit faster because Sora has that animation there, which is also random too. Because sometimes after we knock him down, he'll just kind of sleep for a bit.
Yeah, fortunately I got lucky there and he didn't sleep. But when he does get knocked down at low health, sometimes he will just decide to take a little nap, take a break from fighting us, and we can't do anything about that.
As we all
As everyone
know,
knows, you can't hurt a sleeping person.
yeah, and when you get
Not-
knocked down,
not possible.
you do get up again. But everybody bring you down.
True, true.
Funny enough, this level is actually like 2 rooms long if you just want to beat it straight up, but like this whole other area up top that we just floated to a second ago is just for the chest, basically.
Yep.
Because the exit of this level is right at the very in the second room there. We just entered a little bit ago.
That was close.
Seems
That
like people
enemy does
got my
not
reference.
normally
Let's
hit
go.
There's also supposed to be a little puzzle there where you get an ability to hit that switch so that you can get through the spikes, but we could just wheel jump through them and it won't do any damage.
You'd think that the spikes would be popping the tires, but you know what? Good thing it's
Nope.
not.
Thankfully not.
Yep, that's another thing that this game teaches us, is that you can only pop your tires if you're currently turning. As long as you keep going straight, your tires will never pop. Definitely true. Works in real life too.
Sure.
Please
Can't
don't
confirm.
drive over any nails to test this.
And now we're back in that second room again, and then we're just gone. There's the door there the entire time.
Yep, door's right next to us the entire time.
It's actually quite funny how many like super short levels that Squeak has that are only long because of the chest that you need to grab.
Yeah. This level kind of being a kind of example of it. It's short regardless, but like it is a little bit longer because you're doing the chest, which is falling down periodically throughout the entirety of this.
Yep. I'm one wheel bubble behind where I want to be right now, so I grabbed all of those abilities at the beginning so I can hopefully mix a random wheel, because I don't remember if I explained exactly how it works, but if you drag two different ability bubbles together in your stomach, it will mix them randomly.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's completely random. There's no way to actually like time it correctly, I guess.
Right.
It's unlike like mixing normally in Kirby games.
Fortunately, the odds aren't that bad normally, because there's only a certain number of abilities it can be unless you shake the bubbles together, and then it changes the list of what abilities are possible. But I've been getting kind of unlucky regardless. Not getting it.
Yeah, I just saw you mix high jump with cutter to get high jump.
Yeah,
instance.
sometimes you can just re-get one of the abilities that you already had, which is not super useful.
Sometimes it be like that. I know for the
And,
tasks of
another
this
thing-
game, it like is able to like mix it perfectly for wheels all the time. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really too possible in real time though.
Yeah. Not with the random mixes. With question mixes, you could do it, but
Yeah, but that one's just,
random mixes
just
you have to
reacting
be
and stuff.
lucky. Another thing, I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the stage, but I jumped way up into the air while the level was still loading. For some reason, if you just hold down A at the start of a level, you will buffer a super high jump, and you can go flying into the air and start the level with a big tornado jump or wheel jump or whatever ability you have.
And the same deal works as well too with wheel jumping. A, B, hold on A. Same way works with tornado as well.
Yep, so you can also go super high with Tornado. It makes Tornado also a very good ability in this game. Unfortunately, it's just outshined by Wheel most of the time, because Wheel does most of the same things as Tornado does, just better.
Yeah, I remember back in way back in 2014, the Kirby Skype group days, I routed this game with a few other people, and Tornado was a big thing we used for a long time, and now it's pretty much not used at all. Because Wheel's just so much better.
Ooh, hothead.
There's some ancient history for you right there.
Ancient Kirby history, before I was around. For sure.
Exactly.
Didn't get the attack that I wanted there, so normally you'd still have invincibility, from entering the room, and you would be able to get past that metal guy without getting hit. Unfortunately, my dash input got eaten, so took some damage there, but...
And via the use of the fire scroll, you can actually point your fire downwards to hit that switch in the middle of the wall there.
Yep, if we didn't have that, we would have to use the beam ability that was there next to it, but beam does not have any fast movement capabilities, so it's much better for us to stick with fire.
I forgot to mention earlier we were talking about crouch cancel in this game, but whenever you get hurt in this game, or like suck up an ability as well too, you have a lot of iframes afterwards. Which actually should come into play in this level too, if I recall, because I might have to use some crouch cancel here at some point. Possibly. Like that. There you go.
Yep, that's the fastest way to kill Bonkers, is to hit him a couple times, wait for him to hit us, and then go and finish him off while we're still invincible. We do need to swap to every ability that the mini-boss that we fight has, so that we can get the chest that's upcoming. That means that we have to fight this metal potato with animal, which is very slow.
Very slow. I remember the advertisements for the game. They show off that like animal drill attack right there, which you get with the scroll. It's so cool.
It is a very cool attack, yeah. Didn't mention, but you actually do get that from the scroll. It just luckily is one of the first scrolls that you get, so even in the early levels when you have to use animal, it's still pretty fast.
And now it's time for Stora.
Yeah, manage my inventory a little bit. Put a chest in my mouth so I can grab this hammer bubble. And then use the hammer bubble so that I can get the chest back. Oops. He's gonna hit me, but that's fine.
Kind of funny to me how Stora just kind of has a hammer bubble right inside of there for no reason.
Yeah.
It's very convenient for us very perfectly.
Yep.
Why did you hide that?
You might notice there is that I skipped the phase where he normally falls down and possibly sleeps and wastes a bunch of time. And that's because that phase happens when he's at a certain level of health left, and if you attack him in the right way with hammer, do the right pattern, you can actually kill him before it gets to that point. Ah, shoot. Trying to re-grab wheel here since I'm down a bubble.
Not seen this mix before. This is cool.
There we go. Third try.
It's a tough one. I think it's like 6th or something.
A little trick here.
Yeah, a little trick here. You're supposed to go through a whole maze and go collect that with animal, but you can actually just suck it up through the ground, so you don't need any ability to grab that candy.
Yeah, my mind was blown when I saw it the first time.
It's very funny. The positioning for it is maybe a little bit tight, but it is not a very hard thing to do. If you have a copy of this game, you can go enter 5.4 and try that right now. And because it's at the very beginning of the level, if you want to, you can actually just repeatedly leave and re-enter that level and fill up your whole inventory with invincibility candies. It's a handy little spot for that.
Yeah, the first time a routing for this way back in the day was just like, there's an animal at the very top left of that room, so we just use that and just drill our way to that candy.
That's
kind of wild that we just suck it up, no problem.
Really funny time save.
Very funny. That one doorway there to get the chest behind it. Thankfully we're a wheel, so like it doesn't really matter. We get there pretty fast in general.
Yeah, it
plenty
is
of time to spare.
Race against an extremely lenient clock if you have wheel.
Yeah. Even without, it's pretty lenient, honestly. That timer there should be probably a little lower. Maybe the next patch will fix it. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
I love making that joke. I don't know why.
Especially with the ledge dashes
I hope
that you can do even as just powerless.
Oh, it's this level. Oh, this level's cool. There's 5 different paths you can go inside of right here. And with wheel, this first path right here is especially very tricky because, yeah, that can happen there with fire and like lava easily.
But don't worry, did drop my ability on purpose there because you do need to grab hammer for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that first room that we entered and just kind of brute forced our way through with wheel, you are supposed to enter a different room and grab ice and freeze all the stuff in that room. But we don't need to do that.
Yeah. I do need Will to get this one, though. Last timer was very, very lenient. This one, though, not so much. Wheel is actually pretty required for that one, in order to get the chest in time before it goes inside his base.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the intention there was probably to make it impossible to catch up to Spinny before he gets into the base, but with Wheel, we can actually catch him in time and avoid that fight.
Speaking of fights, this boss fight right here is one.
Yeah.
I'm playing this on the Wii U because it's much faster. I'm gonna look at the gamepad for this because I need to be ready on the touchscreen. Got very good luck.
Oh,
you want Bobo to charge at us
nice.
like that.
Yes, this is Bobo. He likes to go into the background a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh my goodness, that was
wow, a perfect fight. Okay, let's go.
Wow. Trust me, that's a really bad boss fight. I just got very lucky.
He'll throw you into the lava if you get grabbed by him at all. And we got lucky there because he slammed straight into the ground there, and we used our invincibility to just not get hurt, and then just go inside him the whole time, do the rest of the damage. Yep. It's luck what he does after that too. Like Bobo could just float away there if he wanted to, just fly off screen.
Yeah, he could have been annoying and made me get the last couple hits with wheel, but he was so nice. He just stood still.
He
immediately charged and then he stood still, and that's really all I can ask for. I stay on the ground there. In the corner at the beginning of that fight instead of jumping up and attacking him immediately, because when he does that charge, if it depends on where you are on the screen. If you're down there by where I was, he will charge and bonk against the ground, but if you're up higher in the air, he'll often go off screen with that charge and then come back and float, and it makes it not fast anymore. So like to go ahead and stay there and wait it out and hopefully let him charge at me like that. And that was the best case scenario there, so very happy to see that. Go ahead and mix these two really quick. Need to make sure that I've got inventory space for this room. This is somewhat tight timing if you mess up. Perfect.
Nice.
Now, I actually got stuck in that little block maze at the beginning there in my PV, and I had to run in there and fight Storo. So, glad that didn't happen in this run.
Yeah, some really weird stuff can happen in that little star block maze. I've seen people bonk against the star blocks, which is not something that you typically see.
Yeah, it's very strange. I found out that it tends to happen when you do a backwards wheel jump, so when you jump and turn around, which is normally what you do because you're facing the other way, but if you just turn around first and then do a straight facing wheel jump, you don't usually bonk. So that's what I've been doing lately, and it's been working.
It's my favorite song in the game right here. It's a remix of the Forest theme from Kirby 64. It's very good. It only appears in this level though. I don't know why, but it's a vibe for sure.
And
it's gone.
Where all the music plays. So we've got this. Speaking of music, we've got the Squeak Squad theme again. This one plays a lot, so fortunately, it's a banger.
Thankfully, yeah, but it does play a lot. That's for sure.
Yep.
Let's look into the raid, by the way, if you want to do another pitch, Quill.
Yeah. So first off, thank you, Baxter, for that raid. Let's talk a little bit about who we are. We are Team Fastest Furs, benefiting Trans Lifeline. We are raising money for Trans Lifeline. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline's hotline has evolved from an entirely volunteer-run operation into a comprehensive resource that employs trans-identified staff and volunteers. Operators have already logged thousands of hours and are committed to being a reliable source for years to come with your support. For more information, please visit translifeline.org. And if you can, please donate.
Alright, so I did a mix at the beginning of that level for Hammer. Normally what you're supposed to do is go through this really big maze to try and get hammer, a hammer bubble. Oh, whoops. Well. Alright, well,
Ooh.
I knocked that chest off the edge, so I'm unfortunately going to have to redo this level. That's alright, though. We can re-show off that mix.
Yeah, it's all good. It's one of the hardest parts of the run, just making sure your inventory is always clear, because sometimes you just get random bubbles and you don't even think about it at times. Especially like stuff like health. That just kind of happens occasionally. It's hard to think about that and manage it all, like while you're also moving around constantly.
Yeah, I got a little messed up because I forgot to keep high jump bubble I had earlier, so I wasn't able to use that. So right here is where I mixed for hammer before. And normally over there is where the hammer bubble is at the end of that maze. So I don't have to re-grab the chest that I already grabbed, so that's why I didn't redo that hammer mix. You can see that
Hey,
chest
don't
grayed
you.
out because I already got it.
I didn't even think about that. Good call.
So just have to get that last one. There we go. So my inventory's clear this time, so I should be good.
We're getting it. 2 raids.
Wow,
Hello.
two raids. All right.
One more pitch, I guess.
All right.
One more pitch, double whammy. Fastest First Fall Fest is proud to, once again, raise money for Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline's hotline is a peer support service run by trans people for trans and questioning callers. Their operators are located all over the United States and Canada and are all trans-identified. If you're in a crisis or just need someone to talk to, please visit translifeline.org/hotline to learn how you can connect.
So I did forget to keep my high jump bubble for that last stage, but fortunately, we do grab bubble right at the beginning of this stage. So that we can break that and grab this chest.
Bubble being, of course, the new ability to this game, which creates bubbles out of any enemy that has the power. Pretty cool. Only in this game, too, because of the gimmick of the game.
Most of the time in this run, we're just using it to break blocks through things like you do with beam or fire. So unfortunately, we don't get to see that super unique quirk of it very much.
It can also create stars from regular enemies that don't give you a power, which, funny enough, can actually be combined to give you a big star.
Yeah, there are possible routes in this run where you actually use a big star to skip having to swap abilities off of wheel. And one way to do that is with the bubble ability, so definitely something that can be useful. Go ahead and grab this high jump bubble.
The question mark bubble gives you that, right? It's one of the options, I think, right? Yeah. It's very cool.
So this chest, you're supposed to use that cutter up there, but we can just suck it up from below.
What the heck? I forgot
Another
about that.
instance of Squeak Squad just letting you skip some things.
I guess so.
Kirby Skip Squad, if you will.
Yeah. True.
It's weird how like diagonal high jump is in this game.
Yeah, you can influence its direction quite a bit. You hold straight right like that, it goes very far. So it's usually a very vertical ability, but in this case we can just use it horizontally almost.
And for some reason, you can't cancel it either like you can in like Nightmare in Dreamland.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's a very, very fun ability to use in Nightmare in Dreamland. It's my favorite ability in that game.
Same. Weird nerf too, considering like the same people who made that game made this game. But it is what it is. Maybe they'll fix it in a patch, who knows? I already made that joke, don't worry about it.
Well, it's true. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will, who knows? Out of here, Spinny. Oh, giving her the Shiaka Zing, I see. Bam.
Yeah,
You'd love to see it.
Oops, got stuck on the wall there. That was strange.
Oh, you can do that, it's weird. It's not
Yeah,
good.
I don't normally get stuck on that particular wall. I guess I jumped really high. Alright.
Normally in the 8% run here, you actually have to... Oh,
I got a
nice, got
candy
one.
from
Hell
that.
yeah. Normally 8% run, you can like skip all these fights by just like having the squeaks themselves just grab a chest and then go inside and going in and out of their base more quickly. Can't do that in this though because you need the chest.
Mm-hmm. But fortunately, that does give you time to mix those question bubbles.
So Doc has like no health. I forgot about that too.
Yeah, he dies in 2 grounded sword slashes.
That's nothing.
It is nothing. If you do an aerial slash, it'll do less damage. But as long as you stay on the ground, you knock him down in 2 hits and move on. This is another very lenient race against the timer. Wheel has so many ways to speed up its movement, and even if you don't use any of them, this timer is not really that difficult to beat.
Wow, we are racing this clock. We have an $8 donation from JD Puppy that says, "Those were many absolutely verified raids. Welcome in, raiders. Who wants in on this verification train?"
Ooh, it's true. So spending $8 on Twitter, you can spend $8 here.
True.
Yeah. Thanks for the donations. Let's keep it up, y'all. $8 train. We got some incentives to hit still after all.
We sure do.
If I recall, Mass Effect 2 is the second last run of the marathon, and this is the 4th last one, I think. So we're getting close to it, and that's where the incentive lies. So gotta get a train going on. Forget to hit that one. Only so much time left in the marathon after all. Let's go.
Yeah, we still have about $500 to go on that incentive, so let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, let's make that one
Team
happen.
effort, y'all. Team effort for this one.
Hopefully I can either keep Spinny pinned against this wall or have Spinny come to the middle and let me move back and forth. Alright, good. So we'll keep him up against the wall.
Nice.
You can't actually leave that room until you beat Spinny, even though the camera only moves like 3 or 4 tiles after you beat him. You do actually have to beat him. You can't just skip that one for some reason.
It's very funny. It just barely moves.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Now it's time for the final boss. This is the Roach right here. Oh my god. This is not the final boss, but he's like the boss of the Squeaks.
Okay, he was nice to me.
Perfect luck. Oh my god, okay.
Yes. So he can do a bunch of different things. He can teleport around the screen and shoot a triple star and do all sorts of things. But what we want him to do is that Ice Beam attack because it keeps him in place for the longest. So fortunately, he was very nice that round. And if I didn't get a candy mix from those question bubbles in 6.5, I would have had to go back into World 5 and do that 5.4 one where I inhale it through the ground again. Because we are going to need another candy at the end of this world. But fortunately, I got that mix, so I don't have to go and do that.
Hooray.
Yay, time save.
At the end of the last world there, too, the chest that Kirby thinks contains this strawberry shortcake in it. No longer, it turns out it doesn't actually contain that in the end. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I'm wrong. Sorry about that. It gets stolen away, so we go back and do the thing.
Yeah, it's still
still gotta keep on going on.
Still chasing the same chest.
Now in the World 7 here, which is one of my personal favorite worlds. Got a lot of wire levels to it, but I love the theming. Always a big fan of tropical theming in general and anything, really. Probably because I live in Southern California, who knows? Might be part of it.
Unfortunately, I lost wheel, so this is a bit slower than normal, but it's okay, it's not a big deal. Again, a lot of this world is water, and you can't use wheel underwater anyway. Plus, there's actually a few spots where you can grab wheel. And spots where you have to use other abilities in this world. So this is actually one of the worlds where wheel is used less. So it's not that big of a deal losing it there. Or at any point during this world, really. And that's normally another level that you would want to buffer by holding A and doing a big jump with wheel, but since I don't have wheel, can't quite do it the same way. Alright, here there is a way to get this powerless, but for the sake of consistency, I'm going to do the intended way and grab this metal bubble, which lets us fall through and ignore the wind. And the reason that I'm okay with losing my ability in this room to do that is because there's another wheel right at the beginning of this room.
How convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And next room here is also a bubble crab fight once again, which is perfect because wheel's really good for destroying bubble crabs because of the wheel jumps.
Yep. Would be a very annoying enemy to fight otherwise.
Yeah, confirm. I remember having a lot of trouble with this boss as a kid.
There's not really a lot of abilities that go in the air and attack effectively like that. Alright, so here to grab a chest, I need to actually use fire and burn through these clouds to find it.
Shout out some magic. Good ability as well.
Magic. Very cool ability.
It actually is super good in this game.
Yeah, it actually is. In Maze and Mirror, it was like a roulette wheel, but in this game, it's like straight magic. You know, like a magician would do.
Mm-hmm.
Got like the 3 doves coming out of the hat, got like a deck of cards being flown to your enemies. It's really cool.
Yep.
And like a Jack-in-the-Box sort of thing as well, too.
Yeah, and the Jack in the Box is just a huge damage dealer, too.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's super cool. This game's sick.
Gonna float twice there to make sure those enemies don't hit me.
Ooh.
Go open the secret door for a chest. And another chest here, which is very, very easy to get, but I have missed before when running this game, just due to auto-piloting past it, since I'm used to any percent. Didn't forget it this time, though. All good.
Nice. Another race for the chest right here.
Mm-hmm.
Spinning keeps up to be pretty well though for the most parts, but we're still way faster. Do gotta fight him a little bit right at the end though, I think. Oh no,
Yeah,
we don't.
you
You're a
hit him
gamer.
once, because if he does hit you, he can knock the chest away. And often when that happens, it's right as you're about to enter the final door. So sometimes you accidentally enter the final door without grabbing that chest. It's very bad because you have to redo the entire level to get another shot at it.
Would just like buffer the inputs of like going inside the door as soon as you get hit there. Is that what happens?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Rough.
So definitely
That's
want to
really
make
rough.
sure that Spinny is not about to hit you when you're going through the door. Avoiding these fish super well, which is not actually that big of a deal, but giving them the juke.
That blipper just followed you the whole time through there. Oh my god.
He's on a mission.
Some crazy tracking. I don't know what they ate for breakfast, but
They're Wheaties, that's for sure.
Yep.
ate Wheaties and also the broccoli like for breakfast. What the heck?
Pizza for breakfast? Yeah.
Ooh, delicious. Wheaties and broccoli pizza, my favorite.
Wheaties and broccoli pizza. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I can't knock it.
Neither can I, honestly.
If it's
Seems
good enough
healthy.
for a blipper, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. One little gimmick of this stage, by the way, is that if you use a power like Spark, it actually creates little sparks on the floor and on the ceiling too, all around you.
Mhm.
You're supposed to get that chest that way by doing that, but we can just kind of damage boost through there, no problem.
Yep. Gonna go ahead and suck up the squeak, steal the chest from it, and then navigate the maze and get out of here. I'm actually not even sure which Squeak Squad member spawns there because we get out of the chest, we get out of the room before we even see them.
Maybe why? I don't recall at all.
And again, there's another spot where you just get wheel for free. This level is the easiest level in the game, probably. It's not quite the shortest level in the game. That title still belongs to 1.5, but this level you have to do even less than in 1.5.
Well, it's classic levels in this game where it's just one room or 2 rooms, and that's it.
Yep.
Didn't want to ever say it's welcome. I get it. I definitely get it.
Mhm.
Another maze section right here too. You gotta go on the correct door in order to get the chest that's inside here.
Yep. Fortunately, by going the correct door, they mean go in the middle door every time.
Pretty much.
Except for one right door. Throw attacked a little bit early there, but it's alright as long as he doesn't hit me. I do like him getting out of the way of the door. That was nice of him.
Yeah, very nice avoidance right there at the end. That was good. Now it's time for Boss World 7 Meta Knights. This is another boss where using the invincibility candy is very, very good. His hitbox is very lenient on damage, to say the least. So we just gotta hope he just doesn't block and he just kind of stays still like this.
Yep. That was
Oh my
good.
god, your luck this run. What is going on?
Wow.
It's like the
We
third
lucked
boss
a little
just
bit at the
stood
beginning,
still.
but yeah, that was
Oh
quite
my gosh. This boss luck is crazy.
good. Been getting some very nice boss luck. Especially that Bobo was crazy.
Bobo and DeRoach as well too. They both just stood still for you. Holy moly.
Yeah, this run normally has a decent bit of boss luck, but it's all been going very well for me. The bubble luck.
Meta Knight does have a very special quirk, and I've seen Moxie go through this. If he ends up on the floor and he's guarding a whole bunch against your candy, there's a chance that he'll clip through the bottom of the floor,
yeah.
and I think you have to restart the whole fight. I don't think there's any way he gets down.
I do think he
get
jumps
back up.
back up eventually, but it's random whether or not he decides to jump at all, really. So you could be waiting there for a very, very long time for him to get out of the floor, and by then your candy's out. So, and he takes a very long time to kill if you don't have candy.
Forgot about that entirely. It's just that little glitch there. This game's
Speaking of
wild.
candy,
I
there's a
love
free
it.
one right here. And I kept that sword bubble just for that. Oops, that was not the right door.
The fountain
I did
color
that
just
one.
allows you to do that. Fully enough. You just kind of fountain color upwards through the bottom of that otherwise solid wall there. It's very good.
And I had bad bubble luck again, so I'm gonna have to do another backup dupe here. Got it though, no problem.
Nice.
Supposed to jump there.
Next room is really hard.
Yeah, this next room is very dangerous.
There's a lot of pits for his chest to fall inside of. It can very easily do that. But that was very good. Good stuff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take it safe and stand on the top of these platforms as well, because sometimes your input can get eaten when trying to jump off of one of the bottom platforms, and you'll fall off and die. And that's a very bad spot to die. Especially because it's such a long level. If you don't get that chest, you have to redo the whole level. But fortunately, everything went right in that last room.
And last level had the legendary Arab machine music playing once again. This one has the Candy Constellation music from Maze and Mirror playing. It's very good.
I really love the backgrounds for this world in particular.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So pretty. And this
Gamble
room is
Galaxy actually
real
had
good.
probably one of my favorite songs in the game too. 8-3.
Oh yeah. It's just a good world. I don't know. Pretty good.
I am hugging the left wall here to avoid these penguins because they attack very aggressively and they freeze you when they hit you, and you really don't want that to happen. It loses quite a bit of time.
I just realized that whole section there is literally just taken from Maze and Mirror, like layout-wise. I just put it together. That's wild.
Yeah, Kirby
That's because when I
loves
first played this game, I never
referencing
actually
old
played
games.
Maze and Mirror. So like I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirby games love referencing older games, even when they're the games that came out immediately before them.
Exactly.
Like Kirby's Adventure, which was the second Kirby game, has an entire level that's a reference to the first Kirby game. Oh, let's pop this cherry. Oh, and it still didn't let me pick it up for a second. Sometimes
There we
when
go.
you pop a bubble, it takes a second to actually clear the inventory spot out. And we got this fairly long cutscene now. Kirby's a ghost, everyone.
Whoa!
Whoa.
And so when you get all the pieces of the ghost medals, that last one being there in 8.2, you unlock the ghost ability, and that actually changes a bunch of the mini bosses in the game to that ghost mini boss. It's a really cool ability that is unique to this game that lets you control the enemies.
Yeah, if you defeat all those ghost mini bosses, you actually get the ability to unlock that in the very center area that Moxie just unlocked a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sick. And also, funnily enough, for Halloween, a few people in the community did a ghost race where they unlock the ghost medal as fast as possible and then get the ghost power as fast as you can for Halloween. It was very good.
I meant to re-inhale and use that star to fight this, or to do some damage to the boss before I used laser, but I dropped it a little bit too far away from me, so...
And laser's actually good in this game. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I forgot how much damage it did.
It's like the only game that laser's good in, basically.
Seems like it. Because in Maze Mirror, it does literally nothing.
Yeah, it is not usually a good ability. This is an exception for sure.
For Katam, it's only good for combo videos.
True.
And there's that very cool animal drill attack that we were talking about earlier.
I love that attack.
No way to get around that maze, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and grab fire here.
Whee! And a little bit of a cutscene here.
All right. Is this a good time for a donation?
Yeah, sure. We're about to enter just a very long room where not much happens, so...
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
We have an $8 donation from Ian Keith that says, I can verify that we need every bit of content we can get. 1 ticket, please. We have another $8 donation from Totally Verified Nintendo. Hello, this is the extremely real Mr. David Nintendo, president of Nintendo. Kirby canonically says trans rights are human rights.
True.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
That's true. Thank you, President of Nintendo.
Thank you, Dave Nintendo.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your work and your games.
Alright, so what I did here is I inhaled 2 of those enemies to get a double star, and by doing that, we can actually get the second hit on Doc with Wheel to kill him, if I don't get hit by him. There we go, and he's defeated. You can do it with just a single star and then another single star, but if you do get a double star, then his health gets low enough that 1 wheel hit will kill him, which is a little bit faster. It's not something that I knew until recently. Alright, and here we are coming up on the final boss sequence.
We'll find another familiar face here, Dark DeRoche instead of regular DeRoche.
Mm-hmm.
Do the same thing as before, get that invisibility candy up, and then hope you just kind of stay still, which unfortunately this time around, our luck has kind of run out. He's just moving everywhere at the moment.
Oh, this is quite bad luck.
Please. Yeah, I've got to use wheel for the rest. That's okay.
Now he ice beams, of course.
Of course he does. Yeah, you want the ice beam attack there. That does. He just stands still the longest when he does that attack.
Ugh.
Damn it! How dare he?
Tarosh used Ice Beam. It's not very effective.
Yeah, this is an example of what the boss luck in this game is normally a bit more like. There we go. Finally got the kill on him, though. And so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop my wheel ability and hold it in my mouth. Because at the end of this boss fight, it gives you the triple star, which is the super ability for this game, and then I'm going to keep wheel and immediately re-swallow it. We don't want to use triple star. It's not fast enough. We really want to use wheel for this last movement section. And then I'm going to switch over to cutter for the actual fight part of it. First we have this vertical climbing section to do, which in other Kirby games would be a good time to use high jump or something, but in this Kirby game, wheel is just high jump, so you can fly up by just repeatedly wheel jumping.
Now it's time for the final boss right here. This is Dark Nebula. He has 3 different attacks he can do here, or potentially. Depends on the color he turns into. But ideally, I think which one you want ideally, like ice, I want to say, right?
I'm not sure. There's different. You can basically do fine with any of the patterns, just as long as you know what to look for. I'm not actually sure which one is the fastest.
Gotcha. Yeah, it all depends on like how well
This
you
is on
play, I
Spark
guess.
right
This
now.
might be good here, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is
Hold
a
on.
nice
Yeah,
pattern.
I saw this.
Very close to killing him, and
Oh,
there
yeah,
you go.
you did it 3 times in a row. That's very good.
Yeah, that was.
Wow,
That was
I
very
have
good
never
luck
seen
once again.
Neb luck this good.
Wow. This
All right,
RNG
timing
with
ends
you.
once the screen fully fades to white here, so it'll come up in a second. And time.
GG.
GG's.
Thanks. All right. Yeah, so that was Kirby Squeak Squad 100%, aka Squundo.
Gundo.
Squundo. Thank you so much to my co-commentator Shasta and our lovely host Quill, who also runs a bunch of Kirby games. Yeah, I basically hit the estimate exactly, it looks like. That's very good. I was worried that my practice was going a little bit rough. I was worried I might go over estimate, but looks like we hit it almost dead on.
Yeah.
Very
That's made
nice.
the right amount of fun. Let's go.
Exact amount of fun. We maximize the fun for you in this run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so
good run, though,
other
honestly.
than my
GG's.
co-commentators, I'd just like to give shoutouts to the Kirby speedrunning community. It's a very open and welcoming community. If you join our speedrunning Discord, there are plenty of people there who'd be happy to teach you how to run this game or any other Kirby game. And of course, shoutouts to the wonderful Fastest First team for putting on this event.
I always say it too as well, but Kirby speedruns are very easy to learn, but very hard to master. Low skill floor, high skill ceiling. So like, they're very great runs to learn. I always recommend everyone really just try a Kirby speedrun. Doesn't matter which one it is. So much fun.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and good luck with the rest of the marathon.